Welcome to the Weabros Anime Podcast. My name is Arch, and today I'm joined by my fellow co-host, Ben.
What's going on, everybody? I know it's been a few weeks. You know, life happens.
Life does happen.
A little busy, but we have a lot to catch up on, and I'm kind of excited for this episode.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to be tackling the big three animes, which is Steins Gate, My Hero Acca, and
Attack on Titan.
Oh man, I can't wait to get to that one.
I don't know why you forgot that. That's like one of the big ones. Okay, anyway.
It's not that I forgot. There's just so much to try to remember.
Information overload this time around.
Informational load is crazy. But we're just going to go ahead and just jump right into it. Let's go ahead and start things off with our favorite Ocarin. Let's go talk about Steins Gate. Let's go ahead and just recap what happened the past couple episodes, man. I want to say first and foremost that the voice acting in Steins Gate has just been phenomenal. Like, they're really drawn off like a lot of emotion, especially with Mayuri and Daru particularly. Seems like
something you wouldn't expect, honestly. His voice actor in that anime has just been like, okay, this guy is just.
He's just like the big loaf, man. I mean,
that's exactly
he's a super hacker, yes, but you know, there's just so much to him now, and they just did such a great job, honestly. Like, I just had to just throw that out there first. And it's kind of cool that we get to see Mayuri's actual feelings. Now she's actually finally just let it out instead of just bottling it up.
Right.
It was kind of tear-jerking, honestly, man.
Well, at this point of the anime where we're at now, oh man, there's just so much going on. Also, like, the cat's out of the bag for one thing. We'll explain that later. So these voice actors are really, really executing it. For me, like, Ocarin still. Not only the voice acting, I just feel like the animation, just, facial expressions, things like that they can convey emotion.
Yeah.
It's so much better now because there's a lot more, I guess, stakes on the line.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's really getting to that point where it's about to just climax.
I know. Well, speaking of that, like, it just feels like it's kind of like in big repetition, a very Steins Gate-esque, I guess you could say. As like with the first season being, super slow, and then you got on this emotional roller coaster that just happened all the way through the end. I feel like we were approaching that part, but the latest episode kind of deterred that, to be honest, though.
Yeah, let's talk about that right now. I believe it's episode 19.
Yeah.
So I guess the main events would be episode 18. Mayuri actually decided to go with Suzuha.
Yep.
A year back, so they want to use a time machine, and Ocarin's trying to stop her because then everything that everyone else has sacrificed would have been for nothing if Mayuri just went back anyways.
Yep.
So I understand where he's coming from, and what actually happened is, like I said, the cat's out of the bag. Everything is just starting to come to fruition. Yeah. Everything we've been waiting for, like, we're starting to figure out. Well, there's still more questions asked, but we're starting to.
There's tons of questions.
Yeah, we're starting to figure out like what exactly is going on, like the grand scheme of things. So can you explain what exactly happened on that rooftop?
So what happened on that roof was, it's a pretty big part in the series, I want to say now, because now it seems like we're just going to get into this time loop of consistently never knowing what's going on. Only because what had happened on the roof is Mayuri and Suzuha are trying to get away, go back into the past. That way they can, I guess, inspire Ocarin to actually try to, go through Steins Gate.
Find the Steins Gate.
And as they're trying to leave, a big fight scene happens, whatnot. And then pretty much the biggest part about it is when they get into the actual time machine, missiles are shot at it and it blows up. Right. Or does it blow up?
I mean, it does blow up, but does the time machine blow up is the question. So did they get away in time is the question here. Yeah. And we don't know. We don't think we will know, but I will say that it happens twice. Like, the exact same thing happens almost. I was like, come on.
It's literally just if it is blown up, which is what they're kind of like hinting it is. It just seems like Mayuri's just not meant to live. I just don't think that she's a character that is allowed to just. That sucks, man. It sucks for her.
I think I'm starting to lean towards more of, yes, it did blow up, because say it didn't blow up and they went to the past.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that timeline be changing right now, because they're convincing Ocarin right now?
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
To do something else. And if they were doing that and they're successful at it, they wouldn't be where they're at right now. Like, the professor probably wouldn't have been as strong as he is now, or at least they probably would have stopped him earlier.
They should have honestly just gunned him.
Kill him.
You know, like...
Yeah, there's a lot of like those little things that irked us, how
Rintaro literally tackled him
down the stairs and then he just walked up.
Yep,
and
he's just like, well, I'm going to go see what's going on up here.
So Souza actually was able to get her hands on him and started actually beating him up and punching him, and she had to be stopped, but why didn't they just take him hostage?
Yeah, like, you know, tied him upside down and attached like a
contraption
you
where
know, he's eating his own feces, man.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
okay,
you know, I just wish
spoilers.
Yeah,
so we were talking about this during the show. Like, these are like some of the smartest people on Earth right now, and they're making
so
these
dumb
decisions that, I don't know, maybe it's just very obvious to us because we're the outside looking in, but
that's true.
I definitely would have restrained the professor or killed him at least.
I would at least tickled him.
Something. And so we're at the point where, like you said, we're constantly going up on the roof. And I think it's a very interesting turning point for Okarin, because now he's actually trying to change
motivated.
things again. Yeah. He was really just settling in and like, okay, you know what, this is probably the best timeline that there is. And then they had to convince him there's probably an even better timeline, so we should work for that. So I feel like from now on, it's going to be more of him actively trying to find the Steins Gate timeline that they keep talking about.
Which, you know, like he did talk about, you know, briefly. Remember, like him and Hojo, like were arguing on the roof. Like,
oh yeah, that was a good scene actually.
Yeah, it was great. Like, you know, graphic wise, it was beautiful.
Yelling back and forth too, just
the reflections and like the pain on, you know, on Rintaro's face. Ah, man, but like she really cannot compare her failures to his failures, because you haven't witnessed, you know, one of your closest people die in front of you, you know, countless times.
Many times. And actually, so she was saying, you know, I'm a failure too because Kagure was always beating me at everything. I'm like, big whoop. Like, do you know what this man has gone through? And that's the thing that's kind of like frustrating for the viewers, is that we know what he's gone through, and even then, even if we do know, we still can't really fathom it, because unless it happens to you, blah blah blah. Yeah. But all these other people keep telling him, like Daru and Hayago, whatever. Ooh. Yeah, they keep telling him, like, you know what, it's not for you to decide. I'm like, no, he decided this because he's tried every other possible angle. This is the best trust him. This is the best for everybody. But now he's finally, you know, trying to say, hey, maybe there's better, and they're going to try to do that. So I think that's going to be really interesting moving forward.
I got to agree. And I like the antagonist in this one, you know, the professor, just the evil professor. It's literally what, you know, Rintaro could have been had he just been, you know, on the evil side of things.
And his only real motive is just to watch the world burn. Like, he doesn't care. Like, he was saying, Okarin was telling him, what if you're going to make a time paradox and this? He's like, if I do, I want to be able to see it. Like, he doesn't care. He just wants to do it because he's a scientist.
Exactly. It's all in the name of science.
Yeah.
I do have to say, with this anime, it's, you know, at first it was really kind of boring for me. But then again, I kind of expected it, though, being Steins Gate. And I'm just glad to see that there is some life coming back to Okabe, and they're bringing in life with all these other characters too. Like Mayuri's has like a, I mean, Shirley had a big role back then, but her role was to die. But now her role is more so of, like, you know, trying to be useful, trying to do something, and she's finally expressing her feelings, you know, and saying, you know, even that scene where she said, you know, I love him almost as much as, you know, was Kagure does, or But then she was like, no, I love him more than she ever will, and I was like, dang, gosh darn dang it, that hit. But it's going well so far.
It's really picking up. That's the thing. We were hit with a few bombs earlier in the series, but it wasn't like crazy, like, no, because the pacing was pretty slow. Let's be real. Like,
it was very slow.
It was fairly slow. Like, yeah, they'll drop information here and there, but now it's just, I think, full throttle, especially now.
I'm ready. I'm on the Steins Gate. I'm on my reading Steiner right now. I'm ready to... I'm ready. Let's...
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and cut it there, and then we'll move on to our next one.
So that wraps up Steins Gate for this week. I'm really excited to see what happens next week. Yeah. And I'm also excited to see some of you viewers out there.
Oh, yeah.
Commenting on this YouTube video or this, even giving us a 5-star, actually any star.
Yeah, any star rating.
On iTunes.
That would be great.
Yeah, the criticism would be great. The praise would be better, but hey, no one's perfect.
Yeah, and we're just striving to, become a better podcast for our listeners here, which is you guys. So if you do have the time, please go ahead and just give us like some feedback. That's all we're asking.
So now we're actually going into My Hero Academia.
There we go.
All right. So like we said earlier, we kind of missed a few weeks. So just a quick little catch up. These exams are still going on. We get to see more of the other schools. We get to see more of actually UA developing as a team, evolving while it's going on.
Yeah.
So these past episodes, there have been some complaints because quote unquote filler, or it's just very, very, it's not really progressing the story.
Yeah, it's the pacing. I have to say that's actually one of my gripes though. Like I really like the series so far. I just think that they could really have like combined a lot more, but it seems like they're just filling up the fluff just to get the season.
Make it longer. I mean, the thing is, they did have some of these scenes in anime, I'm sure. I think the last episode we watched was 20, which is completely filler. It was more of a promotion for
it was straight up
the
filler.
movie. I mean, it was still...
what are we doing here, All Might? Oh, well, young Bakugo, we're going to go ahead and just do this. And I was like, oh, God.
It wasn't... The thing is, it was still entertaining.
Yeah,
but
I still watched it, and I still enjoyed it.
A lot of people kind of just wanted to see what the heck happens in the next episode. So, we were left off in the rescue missions. All of Class UA actually succeeded and went on to the next round, which was actually really... I was surprised. I thought maybe someone would be left behind.
I was really hoping it'd be Ida, to be honest.
I mean, he did say, "Hey, I'm the class rep."
Yeah, I felt like this was such a build up for him, where he would like go around saving everybody. One by one, they all pass, and then
except for him,
yeah. When it came down to him and another student, and then the other student would be like,
I would have liked that better, honestly. But at the same time, we're able to see the power of UA compared to everyone else. They actually highlighted some other, I guess, other heroes that weren't highlighted as much, like Naval Laser, for example.
Yeah, he played it. He finally had.
He was actually the MVP.
Well, you know what? He's done this twice now, actually.
Yeah, he's done it early,
second time.
Yeah, when Bakugo was being stolen.
That's right.
In the forest, and now, but it's like I like it that they're actually highlighting these other characters, and there's also a lot of subtle things that happened during that, I guess, fight. Is that Invisible Girl actually did something?
Oh yeah.
She refracts light. Which is, I mean, I kind of saw that coming, but I was waiting for him to do something because that does seem like within the realm of what she can do.
And it makes sense because, they just went through all their training, and then, like, what was Invisible Girl going to do? Is she gonna
what's her ultimate
be
move?
More invisible?
Yeah, I don't know. But, so that happened. We did, like I said, was able to show us what exactly was going on. But also, there was more episodes in terms of, like, Earjack and Yayarozu and... Sue. They were all in the building, and they got ambushed by those the all-girl academy.
Yep.
So the thing is that we've been highlighting all these other heroes, and I think it's a good thing. But all of that could have been put into one episode,
really
like you said.
Yeah.
Like we'd probably be on like episode 18 instead of going up to episode 20.
Yeah.
While we're able to condense all this.
And I would have preferred to have it that way personally. But you know what? It's okay. I mean, I'm still really thoroughly enjoying this anime. And
I feel like we're spoiled is what's going on.
Yeah.
After United States of Smash, it's kind of like,
it's
you're expecting much more now. I mean, it's still entertaining. It's still good. You just want to see more of the story develop,
But how do you go beyond that, though? Like,
no, you can't. I mean, from what I hear, that it does get actually better, which is like hard to imagine.
It really is.
But we'll see.
Well, I'm excited for that one. I don't think there's really much else that we could say about this one, aside from it just highlighting, all the side characters. Like, one we didn't talk about yet was the Flesh guy, the guy who can mold people.
Oh yeah, by massaging their. Yeah,
that was it's such a nasty. Honestly, he should be a villain. He really should. He has one of those villain powers. Speaking of that, whatever happened to that one guy from that school? Remember the one who went against Midoriya? The guy who just like if you answer any of his questions, like
Oh, that's pretty Class B.
You're done. You're done.
That's not even Class A. I don't know where is Class. I don't think Class B is even in this. Huh? I don't know. No, they're not. I haven't seen any of them.
I thought they were all preparing to go for this, weren't they? Like,
I don't know what happened, but
well, you're right. Yeah, like maybe they didn't make it. Maybe I'm losing my mind. I just want to know what happened to that guy because I thought he would be a cool character to see, develop past that. But we just never touched up on him ever again.
It's hard to like when you're looking at Class 1A and they're developing their powers, and you're like, okay, that's cool. These guys are also doing it in Class B, and I want to see. Yeah, like you're saying, they probably found like creative ways to make their quirks better. Like the guy that can touch you and take your quirk. Like what's his ultimate move?
Touch you and then. We'll just let your imagination run wild with that one.
Let's go ahead and move on to the granddaddy. Only because, like we were saying earlier,
I'm information my notes for this one,
overload.
This one really hurt my brain.
Yeah. So here's the thing: Steins Gate deals with like time travel, and that hurts your brain. That's like. When you're dealing with time travel, it's always going to be a lot more thinking involved. This Attack on Titan actually hurt my head more than Steins Gate.
It hurts my head just thinking about, like...
There's just so many theories that we had that either are no longer supported because of what happened, or there's some more theories that were supported, but then more questions were open. So I'm really excited to talk about this one.
Oh, this is going to be a good one. Listeners, be ready.
A lot has happened since the last time we talked about Attack on Titan. Yeah. Just a quick little recap. They kidnapped Eren and Historia. Eren's now chained up in some cave. Some weird crystal cave.
Yep.
We get more of Historia's backstory. Rest in peace, her mom. Worst mom in the world. But we get more of that, which is interesting. And we get a little bit more of actually Erwin. Some more Erwin action. And him actually doing a coup d'etat, which was interesting to me. I didn't think it would happen.
I didn't think it would happen either. Like, with how loyal these guys are, they
just have so much going against them, and I felt like it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
But that was actually a cool scene, though, that to see he was actually sentenced to death, and then someone comes in and says, they broke the wall, the Colossal Titan. And at first, I didn't know that they were planning that. That was like a fake thing. So I was like, "What the heck are they doing?" Yeah. We haven't seen the Colossal Titan.
Seen or heard of.
Yeah, we haven't seen them in a while, so we're like, "Oh crap, this crap's about to go down right now." And it turns out it was all just a ploy, just so they could hear the actual decision that these higher ups made, and apparently it was the wrong decision. Which it was. They decided to save themselves instead of everyone else, which is what they accused Erwin of doing. So in fact, they're the ones committing treason.
Yep.
So now it was a coup d'etat. It was successful, and that brings us to now where Eren's chained up in the cave, and we get a little bit more backstory.
Very kinky.
It's very kinky.
So Ben was bringing this up with me, and like how the cave kind of looked very familiar to something that we had seen before.
Looks exactly like when Annie hardens and all that, like that diamond crystal type of substance, and it's super hard. That's what it looks like because, normally that's not the cave. Looks like it was man-made anyways, with all the pillars and then stairs.
Yeah.
So I guess in this case, Titan-made.
Oh.
Ooh, so it's the same way that the walls were made. I feel like the walls were made with the Titans inside. They harden up, and I guess they put the bricks over for some reason. And I think that's the same thing. Yeah, that's something that hasn't really been addressed much either since season 2. But anyways, I digress. This cave has been made by the Reese family, and they were talking about like a ceremony and rituals and this. So they do have this thing that I want to get into, and it's called the Power of the Titans.
Oh yeah.
Which at first I thought it was just the actual Titan shifting, but it's more to it. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I really just can't explain it, to be honest. It just seems okay. So with every single episode that has happened, I want to say almost every single episode, there's just been information that gets bombed on us. And this was one of them. And apparently with the Titans, okay, Eren's dad, can we just go to that?
First of all, Eren's dad's a savage.
He's crazy, man.
So here's what happened before we get to what he actually did. Okay. He injected Eren with something that made him transform into a Titan. And then Titan Eren at the time ate his dad, and I'm pretty sure that's what he intended. He wanted him to eat him, which is just like, what?
Why, though?
Why? Yeah. But this all happened because Eren was actually touched by King Rhys and Historia. And what can you explain what that was?
Apparently, with their powers that they have, it's the royalty power. They have the power to alter memories, which, okay, it's kind of weird to be honest. Because first we're talking about Titans, and then from Titans we're like, oh, people turn into Titans, and now it's like, oh, well, there's actually much more to that. There's actually people with powers. I'm like, oh, jeez.
It turns out it's the whole Rhys bloodline. And it turns out the Ackerman bloodline actually has something too, which is just like, what the heck, man?
And eventually, I think we're going to see a cameo by All Might. Okay, maybe not that far, but it's just interesting, man. It just seems like there's just so much superpowers that are going on. There's much more to the history. And, I mean, they hinted at it since the very beginning, though. So, I mean, there's no complaints on this end here.
Like, we shouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, we've been so used to just Titan shifting was like the only thing, and everyone's just humans. And now there's more to it than just that. So it's just so, like I said, just more questions.
Yeah. So with the powers that they have, like Eren's power came from his dad and from Historia's sister or half sister, I guess, because the half sister was like the most powerful Titan. She just wasn't experienced
enough to fight,
and man, she got eaten, man.
Yeah. So Eren's dad actually came and to that church, or underneath the church where the cave is, and the Rhys family was all there. He actually had 5 other children and his wife down there, and I don't know what they were doing, but for some reason Eren's dad felt like he had to kill all of them. And the thing is, he only ate Frida, I believe was their name, the sister. I don't know if the other ones could turn into Titans, but
who knows, honestly.
It doesn't seem like it, because I think they would have if
he literally just started stomping on people.
And he didn't eat. He would have eaten them if they were Titans to just take everything.
That makes sense.
And for some reason, Rhys was the only one that survived, which actually makes it a little bit suspicious. It's like
super suspicious.
One, how did he get away? Because
I miraculously got away. Like, how? If he's just literally stomping out your family, how are you the one to escape?
Where were you when he was stomping out the family? And how did you know that happened if you were not there anymore or something like that? And also, you can't really outrun a Titan without the 3D gear or a horse. They just showed him running away from the church. So we kind of feel like a little suspicious here. Like maybe something else is going on, and he's just trying to tell Historia this to sway her more.
To manipulate her.
She's not... I mean, it looks like she's like on his side, but at the same time, I feel like he still needs to feed her these quote-unquote lies, if they are lies, to keep her on the side, because who knows?
Well, we're definitely going to find out, but... It's just so much information that just been dropped on us.
Yeah.
And with the story of the whole Eren's dad thing, like, we don't know how much of that is real. That's the problem here. And if it is real, it's just like, why? Why did he do this? And also, what's in that damn basement, man? I just really want to know what's in the basement already.
Well, we do know one thing that was real, because it was actually one of Eren's memories is him actually eating his dad.
Yeah.
That's his flashback. Yeah. That wasn't anything that Historia's dad said, so that's real.
Poor Eren,
but everything
man.
that happened before that, we just don't know. And
we don't know if his story's true or not. We don't know if it was him that actually stomped out the family instead. We don't know.
Maybe.
We don't know.
But for whatever reason, Eren's dad wanted him to eat him, so I guess he transferred that power to him. And now they have Eren locked up or chained up, because they're trying to take his power back, which is the coordinate that they were talking about in Season 2, right? The one that the Colossal Titan was referring to. He gets to control other Titans just by yelling.
Scary power, man.
Yeah.
Very, very
it's
scary
pretty
power.
much what the Beast Titan has, right? Like, because he could do that too. So now we actually theorized this, that Titans have to eat each other to gain their power. So he ate his dad ate the sister, so that's the big chain right there. So now if he ate the sister, that means Eren's actually the strongest Titan, right?
Yeah.
Like, potentially, he's supposed to have the strongest Titan. So the question now is, who's eating him? Like, who do they have planned to eat him?
During all of this, man, Eren is just literally there, just chained up, and unfortunately, he can't do anything about it.
You know how frustrating it must be to be chained up and hear that
you
your
see
dad
all this,
killed everything.
You see all the scenes of like Eren just like sitting there, and his eyes are like dark black, like that very Attack on Titan like scene that they have. And it just, poor guy, man. Poor guy just has to sit there. Even though, like a story said, it'll be all right, Aaron. It won't be that long. My dad only did these evil things because he was forced to. So it's going to be okay. So let's just move on from this whole mumbo-jumbo-ness. Let's move on to the Ackermans. So the Ackermans are royalty. They were royalty. They were the king's, right-hand man or left-hand man, sword, shield, whatever they were. Only because they were the only ones who, well, one of the few that didn't get affected by their mind manipulation,
right.
But it makes me wonder, like, why did they decide to stray away? Like, what did they find out about the family that made them kind of want to do their own thing along with the Orientals?
Right. So Mikasa, so what was revealed to us that Levi and Mikasa are actually talking now about the whole, hey, we have the same last name, what the heck? So we find out that Kenny's last name is also Ackerman.
Yep.
Mikasa then talks about her mom and her dad. Her mom's Oriental, her dad was Ackerman.
Yep.
So, and it turns out that these two are actually the two families that rebelled against the royalty back in the day. Why? We don't know.
Good old Romeo Juliet story.
So now Kenny is actually straight away too. So that's what we're trying to figure out. Is like he's straight away, but he's actually still working for the Reese family right now.
Yep.
He's their bodyguard basically. He's not very happy about it. You could tell he doesn't like being told what to do, but he just sucks it up and does it anyways. And how is Levi a whole, like, where does he fit in to this? Because he was like an orphan. So what happened there where...
See, this is why it just adds to the brain pain. Like, this anime has hurted my brain so much. And it's not even dealing with no time travel or, paradoxes. It just... there's just so much going on, man. And it just... I don't even know where to begin. Like, are they related? Is Kenny like, the uncle? What's Kenny's, plan in the end, though? I mean, he keeps referring to Historia's father as king, which kind of played into like his flashback of, like them being, the right hands to the king. So is he like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, Kenny's still kind of the right hand right now to the Reese family, which is the king, which is the royalty. He's still doing what the Ackermans were supposed to be doing. But you could also tell that he has like another motive too. Like I feel like somewhere down the road,
it's from that speech that the girl gave. She was rallying up the troops, rallying everyone together, and she's like, "We just need to follow Kenny. Kenny's thing will, we just got to follow his." I don't know, man. Like, what's his end game, man?
It's weird. I feel like he's the professor in Steins Gate here. He's like the mad scientist that just wants to see what happens if he does this. If he joins with the king. Like, he doesn't really benefit from it at all. Like, he doesn't want money. He doesn't want anything. No one cares about anything right now because they said they're born into this world that's kind of like a shitty, effed up world.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't seem like there's anything that you can give Kenny that would make him happy.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't give him money. You can't give him freedom. He could get anything, any of those things he could get himself. So what does the king have to offer him? Or
we don't know. That's the thing. Like, we just need more episodes to come out, and we're already halfway through the seasons actually. So I'm really hoping we get some clarification by the end of it, and no more like ending with a Titan in the wall or
the first season ended with a Titan in the wall, so that's like a head scratcher. The second season we realized the Beast Titan was manned by someone. It's just a silhouette. That's another question.
Yep.
And my theory was that it was the dad. I don't think it's a dad anymore. The dad got eaten. So, man, I just don't know. Also, okay, here's another thing that kind of popped in my head. Where does the dad fit in all this? He's not of any Ackerman or royalty bloodline, for one. So where does he fit into, or the point where he knew about the secret? Because it's a secret. Like, the king wasn't even living in the castle. He was living in the outskirts in some village. And so he would have had to have prior knowledge that he was there. Then he had to have prior knowledge that he was a Titan or his daughter was a Titan.
Yeah.
And then he had to have the motive to kill them all, including the innocent kids, if it did happen. But it's just like, where does he fit into this? Like, how did the dad know this? Is Jaeger like another family that something?
Yeah, it seems like just like these last names just have something behind them.
Yeah.
And, well, we're We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure.
I hope.
But
maybe not. I mean, like you said, we'll watch more episodes and get more
yeah.
info, but we also get more questions. So
I mean,
knows?
like we've been getting a lot of information. What I'm actually looking forward to is just some more action, actually. And it looks like the next episode's going to be jam-packed with it.
Right.
So let's stray away from our, our thinking caps here, and let's
talk about pure action.
Yeah, let's just admire the actual scenery.
Yeah. So the next episode actually. So Kenny's men are in the cave, getting ready because they know that the military is going to be there soon.
It's about to be a big brawl.
Yeah, so now that the scouts are no longer criminals because the coup d'etat, so everyone's converging onto this church now, or underneath the church.
Yep.
So like we said, Levi's already there. They're preparing. They know that they're waiting for him, so they're preparing something. I don't know if they're some sort of contraption. Who knows? But they're about to bust in. So next episode, we're finally going to see Kenny versus Levi part 2, but their team versus the other team.
Yep.
Which is, it's kind of nerve-wracking because you're like, someone has to die.
Yeah, they're going to kill
someone. Someone's going to die.
Someone important is going to die here,
has to. Or get really hurt or something. There's no way they're going to go in there and do what they need to do and have everyone survive. No way.
I think they're going to keep Mikasa,
Well, they have to keep Mikasa.
I mean, Mikasa, Eren, and...
really?
They might get rid of Levi, actually.
That would be a riot.
They could, actually.
Definitely. I mean, here's the thing.
He's already, done his part. Like, I don't know what else he would be needed for.
Would be, honestly, for me, would be the worst case.
Oh, remember, I think we talked about this. I don't know if we did or not. Or no, I don't think we did. What I was thinking is maybe, Levi would be the one to, go. And at that moment is when he'll reveal, who he is to Mikasa and to Kenny. And, I'm sure that's... Because right now he's talking about the Ackerman. He just hasn't revealed him being an Ackerman yet.
And right before he dies, he bites his palm and turns into a Titan.
And he was the Beast Titan all along.
All along. What are these contraptions that I've been using all my life?
Okay.
But so that's about to happen. I'm really nervous about it because I know someone's gonna die. I'm thinking it's either Connie or Hanji. It's one of those two because they are main good characters, or they're a pretty big part of this. But
yeah, it's
they're
time.
okay for them to go at the same time. No one's gonna be really pissed.
Well, we will see. And the next scene, I mean, Attack on Titan is known for having, great graphics going on. It's going to look great. The action scenes are just going to be amazing.
This is going to be interesting because they're underground in this crystal place, and that allows them to actually, go from pillar to pillar if they need to. But it's going to be guns versus some guns, I guess, because Gene actually has a gun now. So I feel like it's going to be really action-packed.
I wonder who he's going to shoot. He's going to have to shoot somebody.
Yeah. I think, because it's going to be like a little redemption thing where he will redeem himself because he couldn't pull the trigger before. And now he's going to finally pull the trigger.
Oh, that's going to be great. Next episode's going to be fun.
Sasha also has a bow and arrow. I just want to point that out. Okay, anyway.
All right. Cowboys and engines.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to say that so far, so good. I mean, I know it's been a while since we talked about it, but there's just been a lot going on. And just to touch back up, Steins Gate is getting wild. Attack on Titan has been wild, and My Hero Academia is just...
It's about to actually end, so, finales are normally good.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We'll see.
Fair enough.
I want to point out that I'm actually kind of glad we took our time and not... If we did it episode by episode for these, it would be really hard to find what to talk about for some of them. Because, like you said, the filler in My Hero Academia, it's going to be hard to talk about that. And with Steins Gate, with all this information and Attack on Titan.
It has just been a brain hurting, couple of weeks, I want to say. But it's good hurt, though. The pain is great. Knowledge. Knowledge is power.
You know what else is great?
What?
Subscribing and commenting on YouTube.
Oh, that's
and giving us that good criticism on iTunes or whatever medium you're using to listen to us.
We're on all the big platforms. So, but yeah, that would be really great, actually. And if you guys have theories or you want
to make our heads hurt more,
please
bring it. But no spoilers.
Yeah, if you're a manga reader, please don't.
Do not.
Please don't do that.
Please.
But yeah, thank you guys for tuning on in. As we did say, please do subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, whatever you're listening on, listeners. And we will see you all again next time.